All right, let's do a audio and visual check. We're gonna do this a little bit earlier, and I think you guys know why. You guys can probably tell from behind me. We have a little bit of a gold short working. Live account. This is my live account, guys. Put my money where my mouth is. Let's see how this works out. Now remember, I'm going to go ahead and start everything. As always, we're a little bit early, but welcome everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, here is our top step risk disclosure. Now remember, this is not a signals class. I repeat, this is not a signals class. We're talking about trade concepts. This is a trade concept right now, and the concept is, there's a time right at the beginning of slow markets, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We've seen that there is a pattern that happens on gold, and we're going to watch this together to see if the pattern continues. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does. We will see. But as traders, we always are looking for patterns in the market, areas that we could find good risk rewards, take advantage of movements in the market. And maybe this is one of them. So it's not a signal. It's for educational purposes only. We're going to look at this. We're going to be talking about possibly seeing if gold's going to do it again. Or maybe they're just watching us, right? Maybe they're going to watch us and say, oh, you know what, Coach, the stream started early. They know that something's up. What's going on? I'm not sure. We're going to watch this together. We have 2 minutes till the start of slow markets. This will be one interesting thing if it works, right? Can someone say, Coach Dakota, can you explain why I took the short? I took this short for no other reason than I'm getting ready to start my class. And at 8 p.m., we've noticed that there's a pattern that gold has a bit of a sell-off right before I start my class, which is very interesting. And so right before I started my class, I got into a short. This is my live account, so 100% live real money. And I'm going to see if I could take a quick, opening class trade. Is that something? Opening class trade. As soon as class opens up, then there is a possibility that we have a sell off. So let's see how it is. Other than that, as we're watching this trade and see if we get a pickup in gold, I made another freaking mistake today. Well, maybe it was a mistake, maybe it wasn't. I gave back about a third of my profits today, which was good because whenever I trade during the New York session, I make it a goal of mine not to give half my profits back. Half of 25,000 is a lot of money. But I did give up a third trying to short the NASDAQ. And now, of course, with hindsight, I was thinking that during power hour, we would get some type of a sell-off or profit-taking right before the big FOMC and CPI and all that fun stuff happening tomorrow. It didn't happen. So let's see about this gold. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. Let's watch it. Let's see if we could get a continuation to the down. Oh, man, if this trade works. So let's talk about some targets. Let's talk targets here. I don't know. This is the first time I'm taking this particular trade. I want to be a little bit conservative about these targets. Maybe we have one far one. Something like this. If this works out, guys, I don't know what to do. It's just whoever, this is just so interesting. We're just starting class. We're at the top of the hour. Should I do my intro to see if we could get gold to drop even more? Could we continue to make some money on gold? Now, how much has it been dropping, right? How much does gold typically drop when we start class? Let's see. This was yesterday, right? Right at 18. I mean, this is a decent sell-off. I mean, here was last night, right at the top of the hour. This was right now, so 1900, 1905. So maybe we could get this. This looks like a decent. This is probably a decent target. And now I'm just looking for like 2 or 3 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes in and out. Maybe we talk about a time stop. I don't know. This is the first time I'm placing this trade. So let's see. I'm going to give this maybe 2 more minutes before I'm thinking, okay, maybe we just close out. I do not know. First time placing this trade. You could see over here on the left-hand side, right behind me, right here. This was the open of my slow markets class last night. And so maybe we look for something similar, you know, from 28 down to 21. So maybe like a $4 move on the conservative side. So maybe look for, I think that's a decent target. We dropped down to 29 and a 29.4. Let's watch this trade play out. Right now, I'm probably just barely talking about the NASDAQ. I'm going over the NASDAQ, and then everybody in the chat starts talking about gold selling off, gold's dropping. Now's about the time when I'm talking about the NASDAQ and everybody's chanting in the chat that gold's starting to sell off. And then I'm like, I'll check it in a minute. I'll check gold in just a moment. And then I'm going slow, and I continue to talk about the NASDAQ. So let's just see what happens here. I don't want to leave the screen. I'm kind of like 50-50. Do I talk about NASDAQ, and while I'm talking about NASDAQ, do we have gold sell off? So let's do that. I don't know. I'm really interested in watching gold, and I think so are you guys. So maybe we time stop it too. Maybe we stay with 5 minutes. I don't know. I was really kind of hoping that we just pick up a lot more volatility and we really start to sell off. And we seen the bottom was 29 and a fourth, so 29.4. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom into a 1 minute chart. Maybe that will help us. Maybe that helps us a little bit. So I do see that there was some support right here. There's some support at 329.29s, and we dropped down. That's kind of where we're bouncing off right now. And so the next area, actually, I like this. This looks like a decent zone right around 28s. Maybe I could close out. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative. See if I can close out 2 if we just pop down there. And then leave one on for a runner. Because now we're starting to hesitate. We're starting to hesitate now. Let's see if we can gain some momentum. Maybe we talk about this. If this works out, I don't know what else to say besides maybe we start slow markets with gold each night. Like that would be the only option I'm thinking of, right? We start slow markets with seeing if we could short gold, seeing how this trade really plays out. Let's see if we could get might take profits. Come on, we're almost there. $29.1 on the bid. I'd like a break below 20. Just run my take profits. I think I might actually be okay with just doing that. See if we could see the 28s. Will we see 28s? Now, I don't want to like the one thing I'm a little bit worried about is see like that see profit take profit, see money take money type conversation that we always have, where we're starting to see some money, we see some profit. One more push down, and let's see if we can get into the 28s. There we go. Ooh, almost there. Come on. Almost there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now remember, guys, this is a live account. I'm gonna move my stop down. That's a good call out. Moving my stop. Come on, one more push. I need to hit my take. Some of these take profits anyway. Did it really touch my 328 and a fourth? Yeah, there's the difference between live and sim. It touched it, but it didn't fill it. Now it touched it and filled it. Now remember, this is my live account, and guess what? Just like I've been doing, come on. A little more. It touched it there. I might just get out of one more. Here we go. This is very good. This is as good as it gets. Sorry, guys. I started class early just for this. And now I'm remember, guys, I'm doing this times. There we go. There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and just bam, close it up, be done with that. And what is there to say? Copy trade that times 5. So my live account, I was, if you guys could see that here, you probably can't. Plus 6,000. $6,460 on that trade. That wasn't bad. I don't know. We're gonna see if we can do that again tomorrow. Plus $6,400. Dang. So that was times 5. And oh gosh. I don't know what to say now, guys. I'm a little shocked. And yeah, I don't know. That is something else. Did we just end class here? Did we just end it? End class, just finish it like that. Just heck with the rest of everyone who showed up late. They don't get to do that. They don't get to enjoy the beauty of what just happened. But 66,460 in my live account right there. So that was times 5. And now we're getting a bounce. Like, look at that. Like, you cannot plan that any better. Like, that was, oh, wow. Okay. Goodbye drawdown, right? I was in a drawdown most of this month, and I was up 24,000 today, gave back some of it, finished the day like plus 16,000, just made another 6. So I wish I would have had that lockout feature on my Ninja Trader, and I would have just locked in the 24,000, and then like today I would have been completely out of my drawdown. This is August contract. Let me look. I want to check something out, guys. Okay, that being said, you just can't script it better than that, right? Live markets, just weird. So this was the move yesterday. Okay, this was a move yesterday. Let's go and I'm gonna do how I analyze these markets and live in front of you. So this was the move yesterday. Let's take a look at a few more moves. I'm absolutely curious. Let's take a look. This was, oh my gosh, this was another sell, right? This was short, right? There's another move. So we're going to do a calculation, and we're going to see, because I want to know, how much should we take profit? And then here was today's. Okay. Today's was not as good, probably because they seen me in there. They probably seen me in there with my 25 contracts, 5 times 5. So they probably seen me into 25 contracts. So today, okay, today's move, that move, there you go. There's something to be said. There is a beautiful example of, you know, as a community and like, hey, there is something going on at the beginning of my class at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's watch it and let's see if we could take advantage of it. And sure enough, we did. Like, let's see if there is another example. I'm so curious now. Let's see if there's another example to see if it moved. 18. Okay, here's one. It didn't work this time, but it looks like we could have had a tight risk. Let's see another one. Here's another one. Yeah, this one didn't work either. This one was just chop. So it's not always, it's not all the time, which, you know, is to be expected. Nothing works 100% of the time, but it's something that we could pay attention to, right? Here's one. No, that's at the end of class. No, this one didn't even work, right? This one didn't. No, it's 1900. Sorry, 1900. I got the timing wrong. So this is it. So it worked here, right? So there's the class. There's that move. Let's see if there's another one. And then I'll continue our regular slow markets. I'll do our rapid fire and everything. But I'm just really curious, and I'm sure everybody else is as well. Let's see if there was another one. 19. Yeah, this one was the exact opposite. So this one was just, as soon as it started, we rallied very, very hard. So this was the opposite one. Yeah, sure enough. Here's this, right? Look at that. Look at that sell-off. So there is something to be said with this trade. Let's watch it. Guess what? We have the beautiful opportunity of let's see what happens tomorrow. Look at these. Like, those are some decent moves. And look, we're continuing to go down. So maybe I closed out early. Maybe, yeah, I should have had a runner on. Whatever. The point is, $6,500. You can't argue with that. $6,500 in my life. Anyway, that being said, let's continue on to our regular slow markets as planned. One heck of a start, right? So now, as always, here is the NASDAQ. Let's start with the NASDAQ. Oh, what a day, man. It's just, and I was talking to Rips about this. Rips, if you're in chat, you know, and everybody knows, I've been out of rhythm. I've been in this ugly drawdown. I'm down like $45,000 since my high water mark. Yes, I did make some back. I made 16,000 back, then another 6,500 back. So I've made up like a third of it, okay, in these past 2 days. And I think I've realized that I am finding out the hard way why I'm a perma bull. And I have a lot of traders, and remember when I first started trading and I was on TopstepTV and traders like, Dakota's a perma bull, Dakota's a perma bull. And this just kind of reminded me why I'm a perma bull. Buy the freaking dips. Markets go up. It feels like it's infinite bids, and the market finds it a lot easier to just go up. And I found out the hard way this month going through that drawdown, trying to get cute with it and trying to get a little fancy, trying to take some shorts, and I got wrecked. And, you know, and of course it's always hindsight, right? Where we could just say, just buy. Close your eyes and freaking buy. If we sell off a little bit, buy it again. If we seen the 19,000, buy it. And then when we start going up and up and up, I had those 2 amazing days. I had that one amazing day like 2 weeks ago where I made 40,000 in a day. And then a week before that, I made like 34,000. and both of those were shorts, right? And I let that like spill into the way I've been trading this market, even though I'm looking at this market, and you guys seen me like analyze this market like, hey, guess what? We could see all-time highs. This is bullish. We went to all-time highs. We consolidated a little bit, and then we broke again. And here we are. We're making all-time highs. And so if I was just trading like I used to and just be perma-bull type Coach Dakota style, everything goes up, I could have had an amazing start to this month. But that's okay. Spilt milk. I learned a good lesson the past 10 days. Anyway, that being said, here we are, all-time highs. This is so interesting because we have FOMC coming out tomorrow. We have inflation information coming up. And I was not expecting this kind of a rally. I was not. I was going into today thinking, you know what, we're going to consolidate. Of course, anything could happen, but like, who is to expect a really big rally like this the day before a huge news event? Which was, I'm happy. I didn't trade all morning. I reserved my capital, and then during the end of the day, during power hour, and after we've had this huge rally, I'm like, okay, you know, I really like this short. I like this short going into the power hour, right around 240s, 200, I think it was, 200, 230s, right at the end of the day in power hour. I'm like, okay, we've rallied up. Tomorrow's huge news event. Let's see if we could find some profit taking before tomorrow. Nah, we didn't get that. The exact opposite. We continued to squeeze shorts, and we kept going up. And then even after the market closed and the new session opened at, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central? No, 5 p.m. Central. We continued to bounce and rally, and we made another all-time high. And then here we are. We're still sitting at 250s, still hovering up at these highs. And we have big news event. I'm not going to trade tonight in terms of NASDAQ. I don't have any. I'm just going to be completely flat going into tomorrow. We're at these highs. I don't want to buy the market up here. I definitely don't want to buy the market up here. I'm going to have to wait to see what happens tomorrow. And I think that's the best trade. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell it up here. Obviously, I learned the difficult way of selling the market today, but let's just wait. Let's just see what the market has for us. Let's wait for FOMC, see what that has for us. And then I'm on power hour tomorrow. And so maybe I don't even place a trade until tomorrow during power hour, minus that gold trade. Okay. So I'm up $6,500. Take that out of consideration. And yeah, we'll see what power hour brings for us tomorrow. And I'm specifically talking about this NASDAQ. So I'm waiting. Don't want to buy it. Don't want to sell it. I don't have levels. We're in the uncharted territory, 19,250s. Never been here before. There's no support and resistance. So at this point, it's like guessing, right? Yeah, CPI into FOMC is just nuts. Nick, I thought you said you did complain. Yeah, complain to the CEO of SPY. That being said, let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, I'm bullish. I like it. We broke above. We broke back into this consolidation zone, right? Where we were looking at. We was looking at this nice, beautiful zone. We broke above it. We never did get a pullback and tested it. We actually did get a pullback to, guess what? The 77 and a third. Do you guys remember last night what I was looking for? I didn't take it, but if you guys did, that presented it 77 and a third, 77 and a quarter. So rewind the tape from last night. Here's a trade that was beautiful and I didn't take it. But that was it. I was actually waiting to see if we could get closer to 76, closer down to these lows. We didn't. We did get to this first area, and if you were a little bit aggressive on this pullback, that was a beautiful trade. So 77.25 was a beautiful trade. If you traded gold last night, that was it. I didn't. I missed it. I was too busy just sitting on my hands, and it happened at like right at market open. So maybe I should have just watched crude oil at market open instead of the NASDAQ. Now, that being said, I'm looking at this. This is a maybe just a flagging pattern. Like I'm looking at this as a bullish flag pattern, and I would be expecting, or I wouldn't be surprised, is if we break out of a bullish flag pattern, guess what? Maybe the next stop we do see $80 a barrel, or at least some of these highs around 79 and a quarter. So there's a lot of resistance here, and yeah, if we break above this bullish flag pattern, we could very well see this. That is what I am looking at with crude. Now remember, FOMC is going to affect the entire markets. It's going to affect crude oil. It's going to affect NASDAQ. It's going to affect gold. CPI is going to affect everything. So it really is just a wait and see. But that's what I'm looking at. If anything, tomorrow, maybe I just look at these levels in gold, in crude, and I say tomorrow we're going to look to see if we get towards $80 a barrel. If not, maybe we could see 76 and looking for buying opportunities. That being said, gold, man, we took the trade on gold. I have nothing to say on gold. That was the trade, and I was a little bit biased going into that trade, and I'll share with you why I was more confident in this trade. So here's why. Number one, it was the start of slow markets, and we've seen that pattern happening. Okay. Number two, here's some good resistance. This was support in gold. This is a 60-minute gold chart. We came up and we tested that resistance. And then we also came up and we tested it again. And before class even started, we did start to sell off a little bit. And so that made me a little bit more confident in saying I'm okay with the short gold. And so I was perfectly fine with, it was just added confidence, I guess, if that makes sense. Even if slow markets and that pattern wasn't here, I would have been tempted to short gold basically at that same price. So if we take out of consideration the beginning of slow markets and that pattern we seen, there was a 3-bar reversal, and that would have been a good short purely based off the technical aspect up into these highs near resistance. And good example, maybe a stop loss around 35s, maybe the take profits around 25s, and yeah, I like this trade. But that little pattern we've seen during the beginning of slow markets made it just that much more confident, and I'm very happy that I took it. Obviously, of course, I should have held a runner, but it was a quick scalp, and I had a game plan going in there, and I'm just going through my executions just to see, the game plan was to short it as a quick scalp, and I did just that. So I'm actually happy looking at my entries and my exits. I don't think I could have had it better in terms of all of that. But let's get to this last one, and then I got a fun teaser. So last one, and then Nikkei, we are starting to sell off. Nikkei, Japanese yen, or the Japanese market, we're selling off. We do have some support. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of bounce around here. I've been kind of out of sync with the Nikkei, and I haven't been watching it too much. I haven't placed any trades on the Nikkei for a while, to be honest. But yeah, there's something to be said that we might see some type of a bounce here. I'm pretty sure markets around the world are going to be kind of in the wait and see what happens with the FOMC and the inflation here in the U.S., because that will have an effect. So I'm not going to be expecting any big moves tonight and going into tomorrow. That being said, anything can happen. I wasn't expecting this big move on the NASDAQ, and it happened. But gold, Nikkei, maybe we sell off and see. I mean, this could be a trade, right? This could be a trade where we could maybe see and sell off to 38,600s. Not 100% sure. And then we'll talk about the ES. But first, before I continue on the ES, I know I talked about this earlier on fast markets. Okay, guys. Later this week, today is Tuesday night. So either tomorrow night or the night before, okay, there's going to be an exclusive giveaway here during slow markets. Now, I say it's exclusive. It's a code that the team is putting together, the Topstep team is putting together, that is only for slow market viewers. Yeah. So it's been a lot. I'm always continuing to push and get stuff for you guys. So stay tuned either tomorrow night or the night after. So tomorrow night's Wednesday or Thursday night. Stay tuned. We have a lot of traders who don't watch fast markets here because it's, we have traders around the world and just time zone differences, right? So exclusive giveaway for slow markets. And when it comes, I will give you more of those details. So big shout out to Danielle. I've always pressured her and I've always went back and forth, and she was probably just tired of me always asking and asking and asking. But yep, slow market viewers, that is you, Rips, everyone. But that's secondary for this gold that I'm giving to you guys on this gold trade, right? Like, that means nothing. This type of content on this gold trade means a lot more than any giveaway, right? That's gold. This is gold. That's just a giveaway. That's a code. But that being said, ES is the same thing as the NASDAQ, but just in a lot cleaner picture, right? Where we had a very clean and clear breakout today. We broke out at the 53.62, very clean, beautiful. We broke out, we consolidated. Man, look how beautiful this was. Right at the end of power hour, we broke out again, and it's just so clean. And I keep saying that every night, and I think by next week, I think I'm going to start officially placing trades on ES. I'm liking the price action of ES so much that I am now going to start place trades on ES starting next week. Like, look how clean this is. Like, look at this. Breakout. We had that retest, and then continue it like that move. Then we retested again right here at 53.80. Like, it's just so clean, and I keep saying that every single night that I look at the ES. Maybe there's an argument to say that this wasn't as clean. This break, we had the break, but the retest, we didn't quite get there. But we did have something. Maybe there's like this zone over here around 62.5. Yeah, it's hard. That wasn't as clean, but the breakout looks like it was pretty dang clean. And this is a 5-minute chart. We didn't get a lot of whipsaw action, break it. I probably would have been able to take a decent trade. And then looking down here, look at this. I think I would have been able to. I most likely, now this is hindsight, I most likely would have been able to find a long in this zone. I don't know for sure, but just looking at this price action, I most likely would have been able to get myself into a long here in the ES, get it into around like 53.53, 53.54, maybe even 53.55, and look for a continuation up towards 53.60s. And there is an argument to be said that it spent the time down here in this zone while the NASDAQ was going crazy. This was just being nice and consistent. So comparing this to the NASDAQ again on the 5 minutes, which is what I do, look at this. Like, here's the NASDAQ 5 minute, and I think this was the same. Yeah, this is the same thing. Like, look at this. Buying opportunity here. No, it was a lot harder to find a buying opportunity in this mess while we're trending up. It was actually looking more like maybe we sell off, right? Like, it was more sell off. You could see the whipsaws. And then we switch over to the ES. Like, look at this. Like, we had a nice little resistance right there. And man, that looked like it. I could have, I bet I would have been in long ES and I could have made money on that long, or at least back to the move up to 53.60. So, starting next week, I'm going to be looking for live trades in ES. I like the price action. I hear myself, and you guys hear me say the same thing every night. It's cleaner, and if I would have traded ES, I probably would have done better. And let's do it. Starting next week, I'm going to be an ES trader. Okay, let's get to some questions. I'm so happy about that gold trade, guys. Just the fact that it worked out and in front of the audience and live during class. Can we clip that? Like, is that a clippable? I don't know how to do a clip in on here. But am I having internet issues? That was weird. That was really weird. I should be good. You guys could hear me, right? I had a little bit of internet issue for like 1 second. Goldman. Yeah. If we could clip that gold trade to start the class, oh, that would be great. I don't know how to clip it, but thank you, Danielle. Yeah, that is a trade that I could see us taking in the house account. What do you guys think about that? Maybe I have a conversation with the team that this could very well, this gold short to begin slow markets, can this be a house account trade? I think it can. I took it in my live account with 25 contracts. 25 contracts in my live account. So I could see it being a house account trade for slow markets. Because I've been thinking about that. Like this is definitely something I could see. Coach J, check mark. That's a lot better than the Nikkei, right? It's not so crazy. So Coach J will be on with me tomorrow. Coach J is joining me tomorrow during slow markets, and we'll talk about this. Coach Jay, let's do that. Please remind me if I forget. Let's talk about this gold trade tomorrow when I have you on slow markets. And maybe I just start the stream 5 minutes early and see, right? Coach Jay says there's actually volume. Yeah, there is volume. I was in and out 25 contracts in my live account. So like if you pull this up, and I keep showing this on my phone. Yeah, you could see me. I was getting out at market or at bid, right? So, or at bid, I was buying bid, and 25 contracts during this sell-off. Like that was volume. And I'm not a DOM trader, and I don't understand volume as great as Coach Jay does, but he can walk us through that, and I think Coach Jay would love it too. Is if Coach Jay pulls up a DOM, and we could watch this trade and see how it works out live. That would be really fun, actually. So tomorrow night, book it, be there, and I'll even mention again during Power Hour tomorrow. I'm going to be on with Andre, and I'll even talk about the house account. See if we get into a house account trade on this, because there's something to it. Even if it's something small in the house account to just get our feet wet, test the waters, and see how it works out at this time. So that being said, let's get to some of the questions. I know, guys, there's a lot of questions. I haven't answered some of them. If you guys have questions, type them in the chat, and let's do some Q&A. I do plan, I'm going to end class a little bit early. Okay, guys, I have a movie date, and I want to make sure I could get there on time. And I'm like, okay, if I'm starting 5 minutes early, I'm going to end just a little bit early if that's fine with you guys. And then maybe I'll make it up to you, right? I earned it. With that gold trade, I earned it. What is your personal opinion on moving stop loss to break even? When is it right? Is it ever right? Do you do it yourself? What's your advice? Yes. Yeah. Oh, it depends. So, large banana. Oh, Nick for a tick. Yeah, it's time to de-stress after the day. So it's time for some movie nights, right? If you guys, okay, I can't go down that route. So large banana. God. Okay, I gotta keep it PG here. Okay. Moving your stop loss to break even. It depends. It really depends on your style of trading. It depends on the way that you want to manage risk, and it depends on your strategy, right? Some traders, when they move it to break even, they just want to make sure that they don't take a loss and they don't let a losing trade turn against them. It really depends. Is there a right or a wrong way? I would say no. There's not a right or a wrong way. Just like you've seen me move my stop loss, right? Where tonight during this gold trade, I had my stop loss at like 35. Then I moved it down to 32. There is a reason. Maybe right now I would probably move it to break even, because that would be a reason for me to move it to break even as we're starting to sell off more. But it's really up to you. I would say try something, be consistent at it, and then you decide, right? And then maybe you could answer that for yourself depending on how you trade in your statistics. Joel, Dakota, how do you decide when to add additional contracts to a position when the price is stuck in one specific area? What steps do we take and do we learn? Okay, good question. Let's talk about ES, because I think ES would be a great example. And how would I add contracts, when, where, and what for? So ES, I think this, and this is why I'm starting to like ES a lot more, is if I'm bullish ES and I see that we have some support in this zone, say around 53.52, and say I got into one. Let's say I got into one contract, for example, at 53.52. And then we had like a reversal. I add one at 53.53.50 or 53.53.50. Yeah, 53.53.50. And then we start going, and then I add another one as we break out, and then maybe I add another one as we break out again, and then we pull back, and then I add one more as we break again. So like you could develop your own system on how to add and build into contracts. This is an example of adding as the market goes in your favor. You could build into a zone. There's so many different ways, and I could probably take 2 hours of trying to go through it. Anyway, let's keep the chat clean, guys. I know I went there. I know. But let's keep the chat clean. I know it's after dark, it's after market, it's after the New York session. But actually, here's something I'm seeing right now. Are we going to see this? That could be a possibility. Do you use any journaling software? If you consider Excel as journaling software, yeah. I don't use any other journaling software. Okay. That being said, let's get to some more questions, some real questions. Come on, guys. Some real questions now. Now in here. Today is Tuesday, and tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday night, depending on how this week goes. Now remember, I'm looking to take a payout every other week and pay myself. So right now, my live account balance is sitting at, I went through a drawdown, okay, and my maintenance is 100,000. So anything above 100,000, I'm looking to take a payout. Right now, my live account balance is at about 93,000. So I'm $7,000 away from even taking a payout because of my drawdown. But let me pull up that spreadsheet that I need to work on, and I promised you guys this week I'll have the finished one for you. Let me pull up the rough draft. This isn't the one that I'm finished working on. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so there's my account balance. It's actually, I don't know when I did this one. It's like 93. It's like this, okay? So I'm still not able to take a payout yet because I need my account balance to be above 100,000. But it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday night. I'm up 6,000 tonight, 6,500. There's definitely a possibility that I'm above 100,000 come Thursday night. Maybe even Friday during fast markets, I take a payout. And I know Danielle would love that if I take a payout during fast markets, but we will see. So essentially anything above 100,000, I'm going to be taking a payout. It's pay week. It's payday this week. I started this plan last week. I didn't take a payout Friday. This Friday, I will take a payout if my account balance is above that. So we'll see. For example, if I'm, say, at 105,000 by Friday, I'll take out $2,500. I'll take out $2,500 from that. So we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. And I'm going to review that every Monday night and every Tuesday night or Thursday night. Either Tuesday night, Thursday night, maybe Monday night, Friday night. I'm not sure. I'm still figuring it out. I'm thinking definitely every Thursday night I'll review it and we'll go through it. And then I'll give you guys access to this spreadsheet. It's not ready to share. I promised you guys this week. I still have till the end of the week. Come on, guys. My deadline is the end of this week. I'm giving me some time, just like any good project manager, right? Just give me more time than I think I need. So end of this week, then look for it. I'm doing it, and I'll make sure it's nice and clean, and maybe I put some colors in it for you. A couple more questions. How do you confidently get yourself out of a DD in a live account? I'm down 800 and so scared to take a trade. How do you get yourself out of a daily drawdown? I just hit my daily drawdown so often, I'm used to it. No, I'm used to losing money. Please leave the designing up to our designers to get it done. Do you not have faith in me, Danielle? I could be a good designer. You'd be surprised on what I could accomplish with money and paying someone else to do it. I'm pretty good at delegating. If I had one superpower, it's delegating. I became pretty good at delegating the tasks and stuff I don't want to do. Maybe that's why I spend too much money for DoorDash. Tim has faith in me. So that being said, how do I confidently get myself out of the daily drawdown? Man, that is a hard one. Well, it's not shareable, Danielle. It's in a cold storage. It's on my computer. It's not in the cloud. It's nowhere to be shared. But I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you, Danielle, and I'm sure you guys will be able to make it look a lot better than what I could. But I don't know. That's a hard thing. How do we get out of a daily drawdown confidently? Because every time you hit a daily loss limit, it ruins your confidence. And that's the reality of trading is you hit a daily loss limit, or even if you're in any type of a drawdown, you lose confidence. I've lost confidence. I have. And now that I look at hindsight and my trading buddy Rips, and I will say this all the time, Rips helps me out more than he realizes. And he sent me a message. I love this. This made me smile so much. And I know he doesn't mind me sharing this. He sent me a message. Oh, where did it go? Come on. Let's see. Dang it. I'm going to pull this message up. It made me smile, and I think it deserves to be like word for word because it's really what cheered me up after losing some money at the end of the day. He says, I'm better at asking for forgiveness. Rip, and I know Rips doesn't mind me saying this. He said, because I was a little frustrated. I'm like, dang, I got stuck trying to short this market during power hour. I gave back some of my profits, and I was pretty frustrated, right? And Yeah, he said exactly this. He said, ready for this? Question mark. He said, let's just stop trying to be cute with the market. Let's go low IQ plays. Okay, I'm long. Like, just buy, right? Just buy the dip. Simple. Like, that really is as simple as it was. And if you guys remember when I first started out trading my live account here, that's all I was doing. That's all it has been. Was everyone laughed and joked, Dakota's a perma bull. I'm guessing Dakota's long. And then even Hoag even has that saying, is just, guess what? Where do we buy? Where do we buy? Where do we buy? And I've lost. I've kind of lost that the past couple weeks, and I've paid for it. And so I think that's a good thing to do, is just, if you're in a daily loss limit, or if you don't have the confidence or stress, find a way to simplify it. Find a way to just get back to what you were doing. Maybe scale down. Yeah, PG, that's a good way to put it. Addition by subtraction. Simplify it. Like, you look at the market today, and that's what it was. From a perma bull's perspective, you ask yourself the question, when we woke up this morning, we dropped down to 19,000. We ask ourselves the question, where do we buy it? I'm like, okay, 19,000 looks attractive. Bam, buy 19,000. Buy the lows. We rallied up. Okay, where do we buy it? Well, we buy the pullback. We rallied up. Okay, where do we buy it? You know, buy these pullbacks. And that was freaking simple. I know it's stupid. I mean, you might think that's stupid, where I could see a conversation at like Thanksgiving dinner, or, you know, you're having a conversation with your buddies, maybe college graduate or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I'm a day trader. And they're like, oh, what's your strategy? I'm like, I buy the dip. And they just laugh. I'm like, what do you mean? I just buy the dip. What's wrong with it? I made $250,000 this year buying the dip. There's nothing to it, right? And then with hindsight, it's easy to see, but it's really hard to do when you're in the middle of trading, and you're watching the market, and you're focused, and you're trying to do your execute strategy, and you get your emotions. So, yeah, scale back, scale down, trade smaller, and then try and just simplify your strategy, and simplify what you're doing, and maybe just go back. And I've kind of had to do that as well. Now I'm talking about the NASDAQ, right? I'm talking about the NASDAQ. That has nothing to do with my gold short. My gold short's different than that. The gold short was just money. And I know you guys took that gold short too. So let's hear it. Let's see. How many people in this chat took that gold short and made money? Let's see. I want to see. Now remember, this is not a signals class, but I'm curious. Because we were talking about it. If you didn't, why not? They're gonna get me for market manipulation. What's the tilt? Now that's going to be fun. We're going to get on Topstep X. It's time to look at the tilt, and we're going to see the tilt on gold go from like 50-50 to like 100% short as soon as slow market starts. Is that what's going to happen? Yeah, I need to watch what I say, guys. This is not a signals class. I gave the risk disclosure, but there is a beautiful trading concept of pattern recognition and how to take advantage of it. So I think I'm coming to the end of class. I think that's it. I'm going to end class early tonight, guys. That was very great. Now remember, Stetson contest, it's still available. It's still on. If you guys pass a combine trading only lean pork belly, lean hogs, then you have a chance to get a Stetson hat, which is pretty awesome. The casting call, Topstep's always looking for someone to join us on TopstepTV. Maybe I could have you join me in slow markets. That would be fun. Coach Jay's joining me tomorrow night. Maybe, one of these days, instead of Coach Jay, we could have one of you guys. Maybe I could have one of my slow market members come join me for slow markets. I think that would be very fun. So reach out to the Topstep team. They do the filtering, they do the casting. Yeah, other than that, I will look forward to you guys tomorrow during Power Hour, if not tomorrow night. And stay tuned for that exclusive giveaway for Slow Markets. Take care, everybody. Good night.